Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Film Snobbery Live. I am your host, the film snob, Nic Baisley. I have a phenomenal show for you guys today. It's Oprah-esque. You're going to get a car, and you're going to get a car. No, none of that's going to happen. We have no budget. But we might not have a budget, but we do have awesome guests. And that's what we're bringing to you guys tonight. We have one guest in particular that is going to be on the show tonight, and it's really interesting. It's a topic that we haven't really covered very much in our show. It integrates marketing, it integrates production, it integrates a lot of different things. It even kind of integrates a little bit relationship building, both within the industry and with, and kind of also, I would also think is a good lesson in sharpening your business skills for dealing with other companies and stuff like that. She's also working on several other films. Once we speak with her, we have more show for you, where we're actually going to turn it a little bit over to you guys there in the chat room to chat with us a little bit and to talk with us. Again, my name is Nic Baisley. I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Jerry Cavallaro. Jerry, I will allow you to say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Okay, that was Jerry, people. All right, so let's get right into the show tonight. We've got an excellent show for you. I don't know how else to say it. I'm very honored to have the guests that we have on tonight. I'm just very, she comes on recommendation from our good friend Amanda Lynn Costa, who was on, was it last week's show or 2 shows ago? 2 shows ago. 3 shows ago?
Yeah,
no. She was the last show of the year, wasn't she?
Yes.
She was the last show of the year. Amanda Lynn Costa, the Lone Olive on Twitter, she said, I said, hey, is there anyone else that you talk to that we definitely need to get on the show? And the first name that she said was, well, you need to go on Twitter and check out at Indie Film Girl. And I'm like, at Indie Film Girl, sounds very familiar. And she goes, yeah, she specializes in product placement. And Indie Film Girl, we decided to get in touch with her. We found out she has a real name. Go figure. Because in the day where everyone, it's like you don't actually remember phone numbers anymore because it's all just in your phone. Now it's like I refer to everyone that I meet online. It's usually by their Twitter handle, Facebook name, or whatever. But her name is Kristin Thomas, and she's on the show with us tonight. And I rather than just kind of go all around it, let's hear what she has to say about things like product integration and some of the movies that she's working on. I would like to welcome to the show, please, Kristin Thomas. Hello, Kristin.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello. So why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Pretty much I started off as an independent film producer, and when I was producing my films and needing financing, I noticed, instead of buying these props, why don't I bring in companies that can supply them? Why buy wardrobe when I can bring a company in? And so I really started to tap into product placement about 3 years ago. And I started talking to other filmmakers and noticing that they weren't tapping into it. I'm like, you can finance your films with these companies and also have a long-term relationship with them. So I've been pretty successful, and now I just started tapping into Broadway plays, TV shows, web series, pretty much anything that needs sponsorship I've been able to tap into.
And how difficult was it to kind of break into that market? I mean, I know that when I first started working and doing Film Snobbery, I had to wait a little bit and gain a bit of credibility, gain a following, get my name out there a little bit before I personally felt comfortable going to companies like Sony and Final Draft and stuff who are our sponsors now. Did you have issues at all when, or any trepidation when you were just getting started in approaching companies?
My thing is I was a marketing major, and so it kind of helped me create proposals that I knew would be really good advertising for companies. At first, my first film was called Cotton, and it was going to star Donald Sutherland. And it never took off. I was approaching these companies, and they were attracted to the storyline. And I started to realize that it's the story that companies really care about. You can have a film that's going straight to DVD, and they know they're still going to hit their audience with that DVD. But if you show them that there's an advertising kind of market there really isn't a huge concern. And that's why I think it kind of gets scary when, the filmmakers, they feel that my movie's not marketable. It's not going to, they want to go to movie theaters. And that's not always true. So I didn't really have that immediate problem. right off the bat go into it.
Right. Now, I mean, oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. So I didn't really have a company saying no. Only, it wasn't about my experience. It's more about the storyline. Maybe they didn't feel it was marketable at the time. It was only called my hat.
Now, do you when you're approaching a company, let's say to provide wardrobe for a movie? Now, are you usually looking to pitch them for wardrobe in exchange for like a wardrobe furnished by credit or some other kind of mention that way? Is it more about the brand name that might happen to be on screen at the time that is more recognizable, or how exactly when you're structuring a deal for product placement or for not even product placement for even product donation, how usually do you approach it? I mean, in that particular scenario.
It goes by each project. My thing I've noticed, let's say if we have a web series, let's do that. A web series that is only going to be maybe about 20 minutes. And so normally you can say, let me get Ralph Lauren. Everybody always goes to the big name company, which is fine. But there are some other little companies that you can possibly go to that may not be as recognizable, and those are the people that are going to really jump on board. Now, if you have an independent film that's going to move there to the film festival, tap into Ralph Lauren. In Ralph Lauren, you would approach them saying, hey, you're going to get this film credit at the end. You have a chance to market your company at film premieres and film festivals. You have to be careful what you can offer them. Don't offer them something that you know you cannot. That can hurt you and hurt your relationship with them.
Okay. Now, let's say, so you take someone. I'm going to use my own show as a case study. You look at my show. We operate on a zero budget. It's basically very much like an independent film. We have the advantage of having both a live show, a website, obviously our social media followings. We also have a live event that we're going to be doing every month at the Palace Theater in Connecticut, and then we have then obviously I do a lot of speaking and tours out and interviews and stuff at film festivals and stuff. Do you find that approaching, say, like a Ralph Lauren or maybe not Armani, maybe that's kind of pushing it a bit, but approaching a clothing sponsor, do you feel that something like that we would be able to offer them enough in return in terms of brand recognition? Do you think with something like that we'd be able to kind of offer enough to be able to form a strong case for them to back us?
I think you can. This is the reason why I say that. It's because, when I look at the show and I'm seeing the Waterville poster, those are things that you can add. You put the poster up there, put maybe their logo there, put a little logo on your laptop. Be creative with it. You can really work it in a way that's not, something that they're going to say, oh, no, we're not really into that. The only problem that I've seen, when companies say no, like I say, I'll say storyline or hits on the website. Maybe you're not getting enough hits for them. And market for them also is, okay, what's your target market? What's the age range? What are the type of people that are watching the show? They care about that, and we have to present that.
So when you are approaching companies, you generally have, obviously you're going to probably approach them with a script. Do you ever mention budget to them at this point, or do you generally, do you basically try to go with, this is where we believe our audience is, this is what we feel that our film is, has to offer, whether it's socially recognized, socially, it has a social message, or whether it has, whether it's kind of pure entertainment or whatever. What kind of things do you generally go to, come prepared with when you go to meet someone?
Well, first, you never show them a script. Never, ever. And the reason I say that is you're giving them a little too much control. Okay? And a lot of filmmakers hurt themselves for getting a script. What you need to do is do like a business plan like you normally would with an investor. You treat companies like investors that you don't have to pay back at the end.
Okay.
And so you present to them a business plan, who your target, your target audience is. Mm-hmm. Where do you see the film going? And this can be estimated. Not everyone has distribution deals right off the bat. So don't ever think that because you don't have that you can't go to a company. You can't. Just say, oh, we have plans to do film festivals. Have a plan.
Okay.
And that is important. And budget, you never tell them budget.
Never tell them budget.
Never tell them budget.
What if they ask?
What if they ask?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there are things that you're like...
Give them, this is the thing. When you present, in the basic proposal that you give them, you give them what the movie's about, who the cast is, who the crew is, distribution, you know, plans and things like that. Never budget.
Okay.
And also in another proposal called pretty much your product placement opportunities is what you list out. What themes, and this is a brief description, would be one sentence. You know, Tucker walks around in tennis shoes. This is proposal for Nike. You state that. The next thing you go to is your money bracket. What you can offer them in those different brackets. Other than that, that is all that you give them.
Okay. Now, one of the things I see a couple people talking about here in the chat room is that, like, not hitting your audience over the head with the product placement and stuff like that. How do you properly integrate product and services from another company into your production without it being so obvious? Like, it's funny, like, you see television shows and stuff like that, and they'll have like a guest band on or something like that playing in the background, and there's always that one guy on the show who's like, oh my God, it's such and such, and then it's a huge throwaway line. Yeah.
I never do it, and I never offer it.
Okay.
And you have to be straightforward with that. And, you know, there was only one company, you know, that I've come across over the years, and it's a computer company that always says, write this line in. And I always say, have a nice day. And the reason why I say that is you cannot compromise your story to just put in some product placement. I don't believe in that. You know, I think one movie I saw, there were so many companies in one shot that I could not believe it. And, you know, and my thing is I tell myself I would never do that. If you have Coca-Cola, everyone knows the color, turn the can around. And companies never say, I want my company logo featured right in the thing. They never ever say that. It's always a filmmaker saying, hey, I'll feature your logo and company name.
So do you think sometimes
never start off saying that.
Do you think it's better sometimes, like, okay, I have a scene and the character's typing on a computer or something like that, and, you know, he happens to be using something like Facebook, or he happens to be using something like Microsoft Word to type a document, or Final Draft to type, you know, if it's a film about a filmmaker, or, you know, is it kind of more of like how the character uses the product in the movie, or how it's placed?
Exactly.
Okay.
And my thing is, you know, a lot of scripts come to me and they say, oh, yeah, we have some violence and we have like a sex scene, and you're not going to get product placement with that. And I hate to say that, and that's one of the things that gets a little hard. You know, if you want a liquor company and that person drinks a lot, it's not going to happen.
Now, another thing that too, I mean, in your world, I know that you have a little bit of experience with production design as well. Now, is it important because I would assume that a lot of the product, or almost all of the product placement deals would be done by a producer of sorts. Now, how important is it for that producer to be kind of on the same page with a production designer for, you know, to integrate that product and making sure that the production designer understands what they're trying to accomplish with this, and also the structure of the deal, so that the production designer doesn't go like, okay, well, we have this deal, so now I'm going to put this product right out in front.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a team effort. I mean, I did a movie in Florida, a horror movie, and you have to, as soon as I get a script, I always analyze it for about 2 weeks and see where the product placement opportunities are. And with that, I list out what I think could be marketable. And also bring in that producer, and I bring in that production designer. Because that really is important. You don't want it to be in your face, and you don't want it to be too far away that, you know, a company's going to be angry. When I mean angry, is there's something on the wall that's to the left and you're shooting to the right, and all you see is color and no really visible writing, the company's going to be angry about that. So you have to be really, it's a team effort. Now,
as far as dealing with companies, how do you deal with the word no? How do you deal with rejection? Do you turn no, do you view no as a maybe and then try to see exactly what the problem is? Or, I mean, do you sit there and...
I do.
Okay.
I do. And a lot of people, and my thing is, a lot of people think I'm crazy for the things that, you know, that I do take on because it may be too much at the time or something like that. But I really don't care. I guess it's in me. You know, I told everyone kind of on Twitter that I want to help out more filmmakers. So it could be, you a 20-page script, a short film. It could be a feature film. It could, it could be a play. I really look at it, analyze it, and my thing is it doesn't always have to be your Apple all the time. Go to HP. If you're doing a movie in New Jersey and you're just starting out, get New Jersey companies. Go local.
And do you?
I think it's workable.
First Glance Film, Bill Ostroff, the festival director for the First Glance Film Festivals, he actually, he's in our chat room. He had a question. Well, not really a question, just more of a comment. And I was wondering maybe we could expound a little bit. Do you find, he said, lots of companies won't do product placement if the subject matter deals with killing or death or vulgar language and stuff like that. He feels that it kind of kills it for real indie films because a lot of indie films are more, you find a lot of indie films or you get the low-budget horror, definitely, and then you get, a lot of that kind of dramatic character pieces that are usually a little dark, a little quirky. Some of them deal with a lot of, let's call it more alternative or mature themes that, mainstream film kind of gives away with every so often unless they can get some really big stars in it to kind of offset the subject matter. How would you, if I have a movie that's like RoboCop, remember RoboCop from back in the day, bloody, vulgar, lots of death, lots of shooting, violence, the whole nine yards. How am I going to take a movie like that, and how am I going to approach a product vendor and say, look, it would really make my life a lot easier if we could integrate your product here. Obviously, you wouldn't, kind of say it that way, but, in terms of the show here, how would you say, come on board?
Yeah, I think a lot of filmmakers think that subject line is going to kill it. And my first film was very racial. There was a lot of cussing. There was violence. And I figured, this is not going to happen. And I got New Balance right away. And the reason why I say that is because you have to present it in a way that is not negative. I mean, and I don't mean that, let me correct myself. You have to present it in a way that you have to make them feel like an audience member.
Okay.
And they go see these type of movies and they love them. What they're scared of is if you're using that particular project in a negative way.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
If they're cops and robbers and and that robber is wearing those New Balance tennis shoes, that is when you're going to come into the problem. It's not. If you got someone else wearing New Balance, if you need TV, that's not a problem. You have to work around it, and I always say be creative. And also when it comes to the subject matter, that's also what I'm trying to say about the script. You never present it.
Now, when you are producing something and you have a product deal kind of going on, do you most likely try to extend it not only through the movie but through post-production and the release as well?
So
yeah, okay. So
and that's when I start going into corporate sponsorship, because you're going to start bringing them in with your premiere party, your film festival release. I mean, it's a long-term thing. Never think short-term. A lot of people always think, I'm only going to use them for the movie, and you don't want to do that. You want to think how you can keep them on months from now.
So how do you, when you've mentioned, I mean, obviously it was just in passing, but let's say you've mentioned Ralph Lauren, you've mentioned Coca-Cola, and you've mentioned Apple. Obviously, I think your average independent filmmaker, and let's be honest, a lot of independent filmmakers, it's not necessarily their fault. They're more artists than business people, especially when the lower the budget goes and the more hats you have to wear. Usually a lot of the actual producer aspects kind of fall on the director, and the director kind of wears that. He's kind of that, he or she is that jack of all trades. How do you kick open a door at a larger company like that? How do you bust in Groucho Marx style and say, I'm the horse you want to back?
I can't stress the proposal enough.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is you have every filmmaker, and I have people contact. There's a guy contacting me this week. Goes, I have my Apple all throughout my movie, iPads, and I'm looking at the script and I'm looking at his cast and his crew, and it's a short film. I'm thinking that's not going to happen. Why does it always have to be Apple?
Right.
So I figured, let me give it a try. And that's me. And I said, let's give it a try. And I really sat down and started thinking, okay, let's get away from the actual movie and let's go more corporate sponsorship. And the person said, I'll let Apple do an ad on a DVD.
Okay.
And I thought, very creative. You have to think around, a lot of filmmakers just think, oh, I just need it for this particular thing, which is fine. But try and think of something else that you can market Apple with.
Now, it's funny because what I would have done was, in that situation, and obviously the directors, I want Apple everywhere, I probably would have said, okay, well, maybe Apple is a little bit too big for a project like this in this sense. Maybe go to a company that has a newer product that they're looking to get a little bit more in terms of exposure for, like the Samsung Galaxy phones, and then also Samsung has a new tablet PC that's out that's comparable to the iPad. So I'm wondering if, like, going in that direction, I don't know. I mean,
my thing is I always go, this is the way I always work. I go big and then start going down once I go by my responses. So if Apple says no, let me go to the next company.
And then you go into eventually you get the basement.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, you start to limit yourself if you start going low and then let's go higher. If you have two companies that are competitors, you feed them off each other. Oh, you know what? I just spoke with, never mind.
Okay.
And who did you just speak to? And they go, oh, no, just talk to Samsung. Oh, no, let's talk.
You kind of play people off of each other a little bit. No, okay. So now, obviously, you're doing this for movies that you're producing and working on right now. Do you work on a consultory basis as well? Are you a consultant for? Okay,
I do majority of that now because I started realizing that filmmakers weren't tapping into it, or they didn't know how to tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
There were some companies telling me that they were having problems with it, and I figured, okay, you know what? I just need to start helping more people out. And I have a company in Atlanta I work with, Canada, UK, and also Los Angeles.
Good places to be.
To hit every market. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So first of all, tell everyone out there it's in the audience, because I know we're all waiting for you to say it. Or your own plug. You have to. We've talked about all kinds of product placement except for your own product. Tell everyone first of all where they can find you online or in person, and tell them kind of a little bit about how you generally like to work in terms of how you like to integrate with a film to make sure that you get the right fit, and you make sure, tell them a little bit about your job in that sense.
My company is called Mountain Girl Productions, and people always say, why is it called that? But I went to Appalachian State, and I was in Boone, which is the mountains, and every weekend I would come home now and then. My grandpa used to say, hey, Mountain Girl, and so that's I did it in honor of him. So that's my company, and what we normally do is, anyone can submit their script, and I kind of analyze it. And what I mean by that is I analyze your props, your wardrobe, the storyline, the rating that it might be as well. And when I see violence or if I see a sex, I don't care. Let's still work it. It doesn't matter. So pretty much with that, and then we sit down as a team and kind of go through what you can offer a company. And pretty much with that is, I call it product placement benefits. How are you going to advertise this company? If it's not just in the film, or how are you going to do film festivals? Are you going to do DVD? Mm-hmm. Are you going to, those are things that I like to know. We put into a proposal in a creative way and present it. And, companies, around the world, I have a movie in Australia that I'm also doing product placement for. I have one in the UK. I have, a lot of filmmakers are really coming worldwide because they're interested in product placement and how to do it for indie film. I have a movie that's coming out in April. We got the Junior called Tobacco Valley, which I'm super proud of. It's an indie film that is about Leanne Douglas, who was the first African-American female country singer, and the life that she went through. She was kind of hid behind because of her race, and she was on the same label as Johnny Cash. Mm-hmm. So it's a story that, in my heart, I really felt like I needed to tell. And that's another tricky thing with product placement, because it takes place, in the 1950s. I'm thinking, oh, great. What can I bring in the 1950s? But, I was able to work it and also get product placement through that. I have a drama film that's actually a foreign film that's going to start in June. I have a documentary with Most Deaf that is going worldwide and ends in 2012 in Africa. So things have been going really well for Mountain Girl Production.
That's good to hear. Now, one of the things that is on everyone's tongue here, and they've been saying it over and over on my end here in the chat room, is what's the website?
Oh, what's my website? I'm doing my release on my website release with Tobacco Valley.
Oh. So when can we expect that?
Is that in April?
In April, okay.
April.
End of April, beginning of April?
I know. No, it'd be the beginning of April.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is, on Twitter at Indie Film Girl, I'm going to do little pieces out that you'll be able to see. But honestly, my email is always open, my email address.
Excellent.
Twitter, IMDb. You can reach me, and my goal this year is if any filmmaker comes to me, I'm going to read your script, and I want to be honest, and I will try and get you product placement.
I will say, be careful when you say that, because I made a promise 3 years ago that if you submit a movie to me for review, I will review it, and I still stand by that. But holy hell, is it hard once you start.
This is the thing. It's what's today like? This is the 13th day, and there is a lot of scripts coming in. Some good, some really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. My thing is if I can't personally do it, I will teach you how to do it.
Excellent. And I'm sure that we'll definitely be taking advantage of your knowledge and your not just us here at FilmSnobbery, but I think everyone here in the chat room too is like, oh, I see opportunity, and I see a way for, and hopefully that means an opportunity for you to make a couple of bucks as well, because we all in independent film need to make a couple of shekels. I know it's really tough. It is tough, and sustainability is the word of the year, of the lifetime. But it's really tough out there. But I think that one of the great things that I see when I see your tweets online and what I've heard from Amanda Lynn Costa and all these kind of different things that you're working on is that you're not only obviously you're working with film, so you're getting you're getting experience, you're getting recognition, you're getting a lot of help there, obviously hopefully paid, but also you're in a niche with the product placement stuff in independent film that I don't really see a lot of other people covering, and I really find that that's a really good place to be.
And I think that's how I'll be able to say, I guess my parents always say, you're successful. I'm like, I don't know. I guess that's how I'll be able to say successful, because I'm tapping into every market there is. I think a lot of people are scared to do web series, and you can do product web series. It's actually really possible.
And now, in terms of doing doing a web series, product placement in a web series versus product placement in a film, is there really any difference aside from the medium in which it will be released in?
You know what it is? It's the hits, the constant hits that you get on a web series.
And do you find that data is more valuable? Do you find that data? I'm sorry. Do you find that data, the hits, is more profitable than potential viewers in a theater, or on DVD for that matter?
I do, because you know what it is? It's worldwide, and it's instant. And my thing is, you have someone that, hey, just got home, don't feel like going to the movies there, but I'm going to tap in and watch the Western. I love watching every Monday. Okay. And those are the people that you keep on getting.
Okay.
And for companies, it's like, oh, man, they keep on getting the same amount of hits, or they keep on going up. They went down a little bit last week. They're able to track it.
And when you're making deals like that, I mean, when you're working on a movie, yes, there's a bit of a long tail there there's the production, then there's the distribution and all that kind of stuff side of it, both DVD, festivals, etc. When you're talking about web series, unless it's has a predefined start and end, like something like The Bannon Way or something like that, which was a 15 or 16 episode miniseries that if you guys out there didn't see it on Crackle.com while it was free, you're missing out. Although Sony is releasing it as I believe a 90-minute or so movie soon on DVD if it hasn't already been out already. So look out for that. It was really, really good. That being said, they had a lot of product placement there. That's why I also say that. That being said, when you're using a series like, okay, let's take us again, for example, because we're here. and where this is what's going on now. We started back in October of 2009 in as much as the live show. October of 2010 of the live show. Is that right? No.
We've been doing the live show for
a year. No, a year and change. I don't know. Whatever. It's been a year and change. A year and 4 months. So we've been doing the live show for a year and 4 months. We're launching another show shortly called that will be a daily show. None of these, they all have time constraints, obviously, mostly, but they don't necessarily have constraints in terms of, a start and end time date-wise. How do you coordinate a deal for something that's ongoing?
Pretty much what you can do is you kind of just present it in a way, and see, I'm trying to do it a little easier so it's not kind of complicated. In that proposal, and pretty much with those things, it's kind of nice to have like a really in-depth conference call with that. And so with web series, you have your little script, you have your ideas, and you kind of present it in a way of saying, you're going to be my corporate sponsor. It's not going to be product placement for that particular thing. Mm-hmm. And so for that corporate sponsor, it will be your full series line. If you have 8 episodes, they're sponsored 8 episodes. And
okay.
You need to present that dollar amount for those 8 episodes and not that one particular thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, and that actually brings up another very quick point of there's product sponsorship and then there's fiscal sponsorship. When you are approaching a business, I mean, yeah, there's one thing, like let's say I want to approach a business, and someone mentioned this on in the chat room here. I want to approach a business to supply my hats, because people, the hat is kind of part of my trademark kind of look. I have the hat. Okay, so there's that. And then, then there's, the other side of it of, okay, I want a company that I'll include somewhere in my set or in my credits or on our promotional stuff when we go out to seminars. I'm going to be in South by Southwest in March. I need corporate sponsorship for that. And my biggest thing I need is A, money, B, or something that will get me money in exchange for doing something for a company. How do you go about going the fiscal route? I've always found it relatively easy to get the product. Getting Final Draft on board to give us copies of stuff, or Sony, or Telecast, or or Telestream rather. Wirecast is the product. I found it easy to get the product sponsorship, but I've had a very difficult time getting fiscal. Is there a secret to that, or is it that no one has any money but software doesn't cost anything, basically?
It depends on, it depends on the company and the product. And what I'm saying is, insurance companies are more likely to stay on board, and that's what's funny, because you can keep it on your desk, take a little sip, and almost every episode. So drinks are good, water is good. My thing is, you start getting into a problem when the crop or the product is not really, it doesn't make any sense to use every single time. I'm talking about your show in particular. Let's say if you had, there was a book, I see all your books, and I thought, okay, that's perfect product placement. I don't think you could actually do in that area in my brain. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, okay, people keep books the way they are. So keep that cost placement there, and you're able to keep that company on for a long time. And, companies care if it's going to make sense. They don't like anything that you're just really pushing it too hard. And that's how you're able to keep them for a long term. If you're pushing it where it's not going to make sense, you're going to lose them, and they're not going to want to put money in.
Okay.
And, your show is really successful because what happens is maybe that product placement person that's over that company is listening to this and looking at the chat room, and they see how many people are talking.
Gotcha.
They see how many views there are. They see how many followers there are. And that's stuff that they love to see. And that is how you're going to keep them that long, because you're able to present to them instantly what your success is. Okay.
No, and all of that, that all makes perfect sense. It definitely does. And do you find that sometimes that it's just a little bit easier said than done on a lot of things? I mean,
yeah. And that's just anything. And, and it's all trial and error.
Okay.
Maybe it works for, this little company, but maybe it works for this company in New Jersey or in California or maybe it'll work in UK. Just because your movie is being made in Los Angeles, go worldwide. Contact UK. The UK is very open to product placement.
The UK seems to really like us. We do have a very good British.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with the UK, though, in terms of like a live web series like this, is that the time difference. Because right now it's like 4 a.m. in the UK.
That is true. And see, that's something you have to think about. You know, the movie is not a problem.
Right.
A web series, you know, it's kind of going to stay online on that website, so that's kind of okay. But, you know, for your show, that would be a problem. You know, if you have someone in Australia, that would be a problem. And that's things that you have to think about. And that's what I mean by trial and error. You have to try it. If it fails, try again.
Well, all you do is you just tell them, you know, we'll include your product in the archive versions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing. But I want to thank you definitely for sharing your expertise on this, because again, it's a subject that we haven't really covered here in the show. We touch upon marketing, distribution. We talk about our partners all the time because, you know, they've been kind enough to get behind us, but also because we like to say it to show filmmakers that it's a positive thing. It can be done. You know, there are companies that are willing to work with you. You just need to not be afraid to reach out and ask. And
Exactly.
And having someone like yourself who is a professional, you know, that this is what you do, reinforces that, but also also opens up the dialogue a little bit, because, you know, there's more than one person saying it, and you're the expert, so we want to make sure that you know, have your say on it. I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show and
Thank you.
yeah, sharing your story. So is the movie that we're all looking forward to right now, that one's coming out in April, along with your website. How about the other movies? When are they coming out? Or do we have release dates yet?
We do. I have a Polish movie that's also coming out in April, that's called Driving Lesson, that stars the female lead from Chuck.
I love her.
Huh?
I love her. She's awesome.
She's fantastic. Super sweet, too, for us to play.
Oh, nice.
That's always a good thing. And I also have a movie that, you know, that I do love, that's going to be filming in New York in February. That's called Lullaby by Identity Features. Everyone look out for that. It's fantastic. And I don't get to say that enough. But it's a fantastic feature. And you can learn more about that at identityfeatures.com.
Identityfeatures.com?
Yes.
Identityfeatures.com, people. Check that out. Do it, because I said so. They're all trying to figure out which. I mean, I know this is completely off topic, but they're in the chat room trying to figure out which Muppet I look more like. And I think they've settled on Bunsen Honeydew, I think. They said Bunsen Honeydew. I just need to get the glasses, and I wear glasses, so that's easier. I just don't wear them on camera.
I can see it.
Yeah, so there you go. I also had a recommendation. I saw one of my graphic designers the other day, and he said I should really play up the film snob thing and get a costume like a smoking jacket and like an ascot and like a pipe and a pipe.
Then they can start smoking on set.
No. But again, Kristin, I thank you again. I want to make sure everyone knows you can follow Kristin on Twitter, twitter.com/indiefilmgirl. You're on Facebook as well, I'm guessing?
Yes, I am.
And what?
Also, on the chat room, I also put my email address in there, so everyone can email me.
Yes, everyone needs to email Kristin, and I've already seen a couple people that said to expect an email from them. So you know,
Wonderful.
Ron. Yeah, Ron Purdy is going to be, he's a new follower, new viewer. I'm really excited to have him, but he said he's going to shoot you an email, and I know a bunch of other people will. I know that I definitely probably will, because
Yes, spread the word.
you
know, they start making some indie movies,
it's what it's all about. Let's make some movies, let's make some money, maybe get some nice clothes or something like that while we're at it.
You get to keep the product, that's always a plus, keep your nice outfit.
I'm all about product placement that I can keep, you know. And then, you know what, I'm a simple man. I don't need Apple products and stuff I need, like, hats. I need, you know, maybe like a...
You know what, I'm I'm getting you a hat company.
Yes! Hat company.
I totally am.
Nice.
That's in my head right now.
Nice. All right. Well, again, thank you very much for your time. You and I, and I'm sure everyone else in the chat room will be catching up with you again real soon. And I'm going to plug you one more time on Twitter, twitter.com/indiefilmgirl. Recommended to us by our good friend Amanda Lynn Costa, who is on Twitter as well.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. She's twitter.com/theloneolive, and look for her new website, theloneolive.com. That should be launching shortly. And also wait for April because Miss Kristin Thomas's website will be launching as well. Now, is that going to be mountaingirlpictures.com, or do we have like a proposed?
It's going to be mountaingirlproductions.com.
Mountaingirlproductions.com, and keep an eye on Mountain Girl Productions because they could be helping you in the future. So both on and off the set. So thank you very much, Kristin. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody. From her. We're still here though, and we have a little more show for you tonight. One of the things we wanted to definitely go ahead and talk about is we wanted to talk about our new screening series at the Palace Theater in Danbury, Connecticut, starting this January 30th. We have some fabulous films lined up that we're going to show. We have 2 features and 2 shorts. We have Ink by Jamin Winans. We have What's Up Lovely by our good friend Gary King, who will also be in attendance, possibly with actress Kristin R. You guys might know her from the upcoming film How Do You Write a Joe Sherman Song, as well as Gary's new film Death of the Dead. We also have Doran Kipper of Misdirection, director of Misdirection. His movie Misdirection will be playing as well. He'll be there performing Illusions. I almost did like a Hadouken. That was kind of funny. He will be performing Illusions, and it will be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to that. He's basically, he'll be sitting there, he'll be talking to people, and he'll come up and just be like, "Whoom, Whopper," and I'll be like, "Wow, I was hungry." So, like sneaking. That's what I keep thinking. I've had that video game, that Xbox video game from Burger King. Like I've had that in my head like all day long. That like real old school. Like it's the Burger King, and he goes around and you have to like present Whoppers to people in really crafty ways. I know.
I actually wanted that.
Dude, I played it. It's a great game. I love that game.
I saw it on eBay recently for like $5.
That's a ripoff because you could get it for like 99 cents probably like on the Xbox Arcade or something like that.
Just go to like GameStop and buy it for 10 cents.
Oh yeah, or go to GameStop and buy it for like 10 cents.
I can attest they have piles of them that no one buys.
But we have, but I definitely want to finish up. We have another great movie that's going to be playing due, Maurice Chauvet's 350. For those of you guys who love or hate video stores, it's a really good play on video stores and kind of what happens when you are late returning your movie and how they will own your soul and whatnot. It's kind of funny. It's really short. That one's going to be playing along with Misdirection, What's Up Lovely, and Ink. Really, really looking forward to. This is the first in a monthly series of screenings that we're going to have at the Palace Theater down in Danbury. We're really looking forward to having the filmmakers in attendance. I mean, Gary's coming up from New York, which is great. New York's not that far away, New York City, so come on up, if you guys are around, as well as Doran's even flying in from L.A. So we've got a great bunch of people. I also should give a shout out to the films that we have playing in February because we have released the list of the films that are playing in February. Our feature film is going to be The Crimson Mask by Elias Plagianos, our good friend John Trigonis' movie Cerise, as well as Troy Romeo's 2095, and we have another movie as well, and I'm embarrassed because it just Michael Maney's Meth, which if you guys didn't see it, played at the First Glance Film Festival in Hollywood earlier, I think it was April of last year. So I saw it there. Didn't get a chance to meet Michael while I was there, but I saw the movie and I really loved it. So I'm really, really excited. First Glance Film Fest, what am I playing in February? That's what I'm playing. And actually, yes, you're right. 2095 is a First Glance alum as well. Troy Romeo, I met actually in Hollywood when I was there. Awesome guy. I don't know if he'll be able to show up, but Elias Plagianos from The Crimson Mask will be there with his cast and crew. Really looking forward to seeing those guys again. I saw them at the Staten Island Film Festival last year, and they're just the nicest people. They took away a couple of awards while they were there too, which is really great. You can check out all of the, you guys can go check out all of the, nice, actually someone here saw Meth. That's awesome. you guys can go ahead and you guys can get more information on the screening series over at screenings.filmsnobbery.com. It is entitled Film Snobbery Live Presents Day at the Palace, and I believe that the tagline is something akin to because we feel filmmakers should be treated like royalty. Right? There we go. So, we have that. Buy your tickets online, though, if you're going to come, because you get $2 off your ticket. Normally, it's $12 at the door. If you use the code FilmSnob130, you guys get your tickets for $10. Buy them online in advance. Good to go. That being said, we have, obviously, we've already made the announcement. We will be launching a new show in the very near future where it's kind of one of those things where we want to do it right rather than just kind of like putting out a show. It's pre-taped. It's going to be a daily type of thing. It's actually called Film Snobbery Daily, and we're going to be doing it in, it's a really small format, 5-6 minute shows, Monday through Friday, bringing you pretty much all of this, just kind of an indie film wrap-up. If you want to know about a new app that's out, if you want to know about some new gear, if you want to know about, someone who's kind of great, Indiegogo project out there, or someone who's got a good, whatever, we're going to bring this to you real short, quick increments that you can kind of take on the road, just really quick on your daily dose of film snobbery, basically. It's going to be good stuff. We're really looking forward to showing you guys what we've got to go with that. We've got some, people working on graphics for it, and titles and freaking music and a whole bunch of other stuff, so that way we can launch it and it's going to be the tits, as they say. Totally, like right here. Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. The little lift. Yep. And so we've got that. I want to open up the. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show. I know we didn't do an Indiegogo project of the week this week. Mostly because I just didn't have time to pick one out. However, if you guys are running an Indiegogo project out there, I highly recommend that you guys hit us up, admin, or, I guess I'll do the admin address, admin@filmsnobbery.com. Let us know why we should pick your project to be our Indiegogo project of the week, or even tweet us, twitter.com/filmsnobbery, Facebook us, facebook.com/filmsnobbery. Do all that kind of stuff, because we want to hear why should we pick you guys?
Or if you want to nominate a project, like you don't even have to be part of a project if you just love someone's project, right?
Jerry, that is a phenomenal idea. I think that is the best thing you've said to me all year.
Yeah, occasionally I have a good idea.
Occasionally a flash of insight comes across Jerry, and usually it's in the form of a really good script, but tonight this man opened his mouth and it was gold. See, Jerry?
It's actually very nice.
It wasn't it? I thought you really thought I was going to go dark with that, didn't you?
Yeah, I really did.
But I want to thank everyone who's shown up tonight. I want to open up the lines to the audience right now. I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. We talked a little bit about product placement. We talked a little bit about marketing distribution tonight with our guest, Kristin Thomas. I want to make sure that, see if there's anything else that you guys out there has been on your mind this week that you've seen on Twitter, that other people are talking about, that you guys want to talk about. You can call in either on Skype, where Skype username is FilmSnobbery, or you can call in our line 508-499-3669 from your cell phone. We've got a few minutes, so we'll definitely talk to you. If you guys don't call in, then we don't get to talk to you, then your voice won't be heard. And that's what this is all about. That's what independent film is about, letting your voice be heard. So if you choose not to exercise that voice, then what the frick am I going to do? Why am I listening? What are these people? I got nothing. I really have nothing.
I'm offended that you didn't curse there.
I should have cursed there, didn't I?
I am highly offended by people who don't curse.
You're highly offended by people who don't curse.
Yes.
It is kind of a freedom of speech thing, huh? Oh, hold on. We got what's going on over on my side here. That's Jerry said. I know Jerry said this to me in an IM, but I actually have to say it because I thought it was witty. Jerry said that that's why the lighting sucked in my films. The light bulb is always above my head. I gotta say, that's pretty clever. I like that. So
it doesn't change the lighting.
So. Oh, and Ron Purdy says, well, wait, I can put the link to my Indiegogo here. Ron, you go ahead, put the link to your Indiegogo project in the chat room. Not only that, tell us about it a little bit, here in the chat room. Call in and talk about it with us. Why should people donate to your project, Ron? We want to know what makes your project special, that it deserves my time and their dollar. And I say that because I have no money. But my time and their dollar. Why should we give to Ron Purdy's project? Let's see what it is. I'm gonna go the Social Media Massacre, the series. I'll give it a, maybe not a plug, but let's see. It's the darker side of social media is the tagline here. Let's see here. Let's see. Social Media Matter. Short film was acclaimed by many websites, and we decided that we could do more than just the short. That's where the series comes in. So they want to take a short they did, they want to expand it into a series. I'm all for that. Let's see, the darker side of social media. Kind of almost sounds like Catfish a little bit, like the movie, that little film Catfish. You remember? That came out like for 5 seconds. Huge social media kind of like things that people were comparing it to like Facebook. It was like the other Facebook movie. It came out right around the time as The Social Network.
I was too busy checking my live journal and updating Zynga.
You totally just threw those out, didn't you? Really? Because at the time I was on Plurk. Which sounds like you're dropping a doop. I'm just saying. If anyone's ever used Plurk, I thought Plurk in theory was a really cool website, and I tried using it for like literally a day, and I was like, this is garbage. And that is actually the day I went over to Twitter. I avoided Twitter for a little bit, and then I eventually went back to it. I'm going to get back on our chat room here, but I guess I should go back here and say Ron is trying to raise for his series, The Social Media Massacre, the series. He's trying to raise $2,500. He's got $75 raised right now. He's got 30 days left, though. He's got a month to meet his goal. And I will kind of remind everyone on Indiegogo, he's going to walk away with the money regardless if he wins or loses or whatever. But here's the thing: one of the cool parts about using Indiegogo as your funding campaign, your campaign funding kind of platform, is that it accepts not only like Amazon payments, credit card payments, stuff like that, but it also does PayPal. And who doesn't fucking have PayPal at this point? Everyone's got PayPal. So I highly recommend. It's real quick, it's easy. It's going to a good thing. Let's check out his perks. Let's check out his perks a little bit. Let's see. Casual user, $1 minimum. Our firm thanks via Twitter, and think of the karma points. I will think of the karma points. But I have 8,000 people that follow me on Twitter. I don't know if I need to thank you. But you know what? No. You know what? Every thank you counts. Every viewer counts. You shake your head no. Let me tell you.
Just thanking you.
No? No, they should be thanking me. No, I got nothing. That's horrible. Slightly obsessed, $10 minimum. Thanks via Twitter, so we get that still. And thanks on the official Social Media Massacre website. All right, I can go with that. I'm going with all right. I like a little website plug. I like that. Right up. You know what that is? That's called a pingback. We get the little pingback on that. It's good. You like all that pingback. Starting to drool, $25 minimum. Thanks via Twitter and the official Social Media Massacre website, as well as a thank you phone call from series creator Ron Purdy. Ron, I might just call you. What if I call you? Well, I don't know how, but if I call you, that is, you're in for it, because I don't stop talking for hours. Mindless Indulger, $50 minimum. Everything in the previous perks, plus executive producer credits for the season of the series. That's kind of cool. That's for $50 you could be an executive producer. I wonder if I could put that on my IMDb. If I had an IMDb. I should have a special thanks somewhere in an IMDb. Because I did a behind-the-scenes doc for someone once. It's fucking horrible, but I did one.
I remember that.
Yeah, you've never seen it though, did you?
You tried to make me go to do it.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
The sad thing is that I had more crew than he did with one person. He was his own crew. It was tough. But you know what? He literally shot like half the damn film in like a day. And it was kind of cool to watch like that kind of a low-budget director work. So I'm, you know what? He did it. He's finished. It's finished. The next one, totally obsessed, $100 minimum. Everything in the previous perks, plus a DVD of your favorite episode with a personalized introduction by series creator Ron Purdy. I think that's cool because he's not giving you the DVD of the full series. Because maybe I don't give a shit about the full series, but I do give a shit about the one episode,
That's cool.
And a personal introduction.
Yeah, that's the cool collector's item. That's like having, an autograph as opposed to an autograph that's personalized to you.
Exactly.
That's like, we'll say Amber Benson because we love her so much.
We love us some Amber Benson.
That's difference of, her signing Death Daughter Amber Benson or her signing, to you from Amber Benson.
Exactly.
That's not personalized.
Well, I want to swear at him so.
You should have said a name.
You should swear, Jerry.
Yeah, it was me. It was a personal story about when Amber signed my death's daughter.
Oh, we got, I'm over in Twitter right now, and someone actually said, Sin48, C-I-N-N 48, Candace Lepage, I don't know, Lepage maybe? I don't know how she really says it, Lepage. I'm checking out Film Snobbery live show for the first time. I am so sorry. No, really, we're much better than this usually. That's a complete lie. I'm sorry that I lied to you like that. We are actually, this is actually probably one of the best shows we've had in a very long time. But I want to, uh-oh, someone got banned. Waterhole movie got banned from the chat room. I'm going to have a quick chat with Justin TV about...
What did Waterhole do?
I don't know. I'm going to get him back.
I don't think he was actually banned. I think he was saying that because he couldn't log on, and neither could Bobby Bless.
Ah.
I think it was for using racial slurs, and that's just horrible.
You can't sign in for some reason. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see.
Yeah, let's get to that. We like hearing
Hey,
about
we have a phone call.
We have a phone call.
We have a phone call.
Who the hell's calling into this show?
I don't know. Talk to them.
You're on the line, caller.
Yes, this is Ron.
Ron Purdy, how are you, sir?
I'm splendiferous.
See, I feel like I got my perk in advance now.
Well, you did, but everybody's getting the perk.
Everyone's getting a perk because they get to hear Mr. Ron Purdy talking about the social media massacre, the series. Tell me just real quick about the short film that you did.
Well, the short film is basically it takes a web designer who lives in the Midwest, and nothing ever good can come from the Midwest. And he is getting increasingly more and more alone, and he's doing whatever he can to not be alone. And we've purposely made the dialogue a little, I don't want to use the word, I guess I can use the word cliche, so people would think that that's not what's happening. And then, I'm not going to give the ending away, but let's just say that there's a puppet show. He finally figures out a way to not be alone ever again, and we call that part of the movie the puppet show. It's kind of based on, I wish I remembered the author now, A Rose for Emily or something. I think that's the title of the book. I think it's Faulkner, yeah. It's kind of based on that story, if you've read that.
I have not read that, but it sounds almost. Ryan says books are hard. There's a lot of words, Ryan. I know that it's not your thing. He's a movie guy through and through. He hates to read. Foreign films scare him. He doesn't know how to feel about it because it's very visual, but he has to read. He feels like it's a bait and switch.
I sound like an idiot now.
You are.
Reading, no.
You're our idiot man-child that we have hit the broadcast and record button, and that's it.
Apparently you couldn't.
I couldn't freaking do it. No. I'm a talking head. That's it.
Boobs in foreign films, so.
There is. You have a point there.
This is true.
Now, Ron, are there any boobs in your movie?
No, there's no boobs.
Why is there no boobs?
I just thought it would distract away from the story.
You know what? That is the smart answer. That is the right answer, sir. I gotta tell you, I'm very happy with that. Now, where are you hailing from, Ron?
I'm from southeastern Wisconsin.
Southeastern Wisconsin. What got you into filmmaking? Like, what, you made this short film. What did you do before that? Like, what was the genesis of, like, you know what, I'm gonna be a filmmaker?
Actually, John Carpenter, believe it or not, Halloween.
That actually is not an answer you hear very often. What about Halloween said, like, that's it. That Halloween is the lighthouse. I see the beacon, and its name is John Carpenter.
Well, it's just that everything was done so simply, and you could tell that it was done simply, but it was done right. And as I got older, a friend of mine and I, we wrote a really crappy script, and we were going to do like our little homage to Halloween, but it just never got off the ground, and I think I still have it somewhere. But ever since then, I've been really kind of, and since I think I was like 15, it kept gnawing at me and gnawing at me, and I kept thinking, well, I'm in Wisconsin, nothing can ever happen, so what's the point? And then I made a short film called Becoming Undead, which is about a guy turning into a zombie after he was bitten. He's like in a garage, and it's a silent film, a silent zombie short. And
zombie short.
That got a lot of notice, like from Dread Central and Geek Tyrant and places like that. And then I had this idea for, someone being alone and how you have to put everything on the internet now. All of our lives are on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, but yet everybody doesn't want to be alone.
I completely understand that. I think that even extends into things like online dating and stuff like that. Like you look at the Match.com, eHarmony, JDate. It was JDate, that's the one. I don't know. JDate's the Jew-date site. That's where you go and you find other Jews. And they got a list, and you find other Jews that are on the list, and you date them. But here's the thing. We want to go over to Ron now, and we want to say, Ron, all right, we've got your project here. It's up. It's on my screen here. It's www.indiegogo.com/the social media massacre of the series, and put dashes in between all the words. So it's the-social-media-massacre-the-series. Anyways, give us we're going to give you like 60 seconds. We have no real clock. Well, actually we do. But we're going to give you 60 seconds. Give the audience your best pitch as to why they should fund, or at least tweet out, Facebook, link, whatever, your project, the Social Media Massacre of the series, and we want you to start right about in 10 seconds. It's coming up. 5 more seconds. I know. I'm totally going to give them. I'm going to give them a full 60 seconds. All right, ready, set, go.
The Social Media Massacre of the series is going to be it's going to have a different dark side to social media every episode. We have a Foursquare episode. We have a Twitter episode. We have a YouTube episode. We have a Facebook episode, which is actually drawn right from the headlines. We have a live streaming episode, like a JTV type of thing. And, of course, we can't mention any of the names, but this is something that is very, very meaningful to me. I've been working on this for quite a while. It's actually had its fruition from the actual short. My producer was like, we have to do something more with this, and, well, here we go. So this is something that's very close to my heart, and if you like helping people's dreams come true, you should help out by tweeting or Facebooking or linking or even funding. There are nice perks.
There are nice perks, and you know what, Ron? You did it with 10 seconds to spare. That tells me that you're a good editor because you cut out all the fluff, you got right to the point, and you showed us exactly why everyone should fund and check out the Social Media Massacre, the series. Is there anywhere online or anywhere that we can actually find and watch the original short film?
Actually, if you go to the Indiegogo page, that's the video. It's the original short.
Nice. Excellent. So, again, we want everyone go to Indiegogo.com, check out the Social Media Massacre of the series. If you, Indiegogo.com/the Social Media Massacre of the series, just put dashes in between all the words.
I can actually link people via my Twitter. My Twitter is actually my username in the chat room.
Yep. So, yeah, link it for your Twitter. He's already linked it in the chat room, so there we go. You're definitely going to want to link it on Twitter because, remember, we're live now, but this does get archived, so you never know who's going to be watching it later. I want to thank you for calling in, Ron, and telling us about your project and telling us why your project. You know what? I'm going to make this the Indiegogo Project of the Week. How's that?
Oh, fantastic.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That's it. He's the Indiegogo Project of the Week. Ryan's bringing up over here. He's bringing up the FilmSnobbery Live. He's got it on his Android HTC little phone here, the Droid Incredible, the FilmSnobbery Live app that you can get on both Android and iPhone platforms. I apologize that it's not quite updated yet, but we have bills to pay. It's archiving all the episodes, and if I want to archive faster, I have to pay lots of money. Because it's like X amount of cents per meg, and we have like gigabytes worth of episodes. So it's just, we're archiving slowly but surely. But you guys can help us with that because every time you buy, well, once you buy the app is $1.99 in both app stores, both the Android Marketplace and the iPhone App Store, or the iTunes App Store.
Apple App Store. You can get it on your iPod Touch or your iPad.
You can get it on the Apple, and actually, I think it looks pretty good on the iPad. I will say, I'm pretty happy with how it looks on the iPad.
Maybe we can talk about that in one of the FilmSnobbery Dailies.
I think we should talk about a little bit about some technology stuff about the iPad and how it's revolutionizing some of the aspects of independent film. But you guys are going to have to listen to FilmSnobbery Daily when it is released. in the near future. We don't have an exact date yet, but that will be one of our topics that we'll be discussing. I want to thank Ron for coming on. I want to thank Kristin Thomas for coming on. Follow her at Indie Film Girl. You can follow Ron here on Twitter, twitter.com/Ron Purdy. That's RonPurtee. And he's obviously awesome sauce for calling in, and we appreciate it. You can follow our co-host Jerry Cavallaro online. He's twitter.com/getstuck, and you can follow Ryan DeShan on Twitter as well. I think twitter.com/nishguy.
I couldn't even tell you. What
You're not even on Twitter, are you? You don't even.
I have no reason right now, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right. You have a girlfriend. Yeah.
No, it's more just.
Did you get her on JDate?
I'm gonna call her Jew when I get home. Now she's not gonna get it.
No, not at all. But that being said, I really had no segue out of that one. I'm cutting out. All right, I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I want to thank First Glance Film, T-Scartographer, David Foley. I want to thank some of the people that even couldn't get into the chat room or were kicked out. Waterholer, obviously our buddy Nathan. I want to thank just everybody. I know I'm going to forget people. Jake Stetler. Penchi, who was able to make it in as well. I want to thank, I'm just kind of scrolling up real quick to see, make sure I didn't miss anybody in particular here. First Glance Film, Bill Ostroff, obviously, I think we've already said him. We want to thank some of our new and old people. I want to thank Candice Lepage, Sin48, CINN48 on Twitter. It's her first show. I'm glad we were able to help break you in here. Welcome to the crowd. We hope to see you every week, and we hope to see everybody every week, every Thursday, that is, specifically, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at live.filmsnobbery.com, or if you prefer to go to the Justin TV link, it's justin.tv/filmsnobbery. You can see all the archives over at live.filmsnobbery.com for all of our previous shows, our year and some odd number of months shows, with great guests such as Sam Levine, Amber Benson, Bob Hawk, Zach Knutson. We've had so many great people on the show, up to and including tonight's guest, Kristin Thomas. I want to thank everyone for showing up and continuing to support us. We've been a little silent this week. We've got a lot of stuff going on we're preparing for. I've been so deep in getting everything ready for the screening series, January 30th at the Palace Theater in Connecticut, Danbury, Connecticut. I hope to see you all there. It starts at 1 p.m., goes to 6 p.m. It's like an all-day affair. It's going to be awesome. So that being said, we will see you guys next week with another guest and more banter and fun stuff to talk about, and another Indiegogo project of the week, and maybe new hats. Who knows, right? Maybe new hats. So thank you again, and good night.